any questions that y'all had major disagreements on?
When it comes to the topics of family planning or contraception, oh snap, we haven't thought about this.
I want no kids. I want 10 kids.
It's
going to be a problem.
It
worked out.
It worked out.
What's up, sisterhood? It is
Hey,
Kristen
y'all.
and Bethany here. We are so pumped to get to hang out with you guys. And
We're
we just
pumped.
want to say
We're pumped.
that we love our patrons. Okay, this channel is supported by patrons to help us keep going so we can produce weekly content for you. Who were some of our recents?
I have some of the recents. So we have Ashton Wheeler, Mariella BM. We've got Zoe Witzel, Hannah Stoneman. We've got Jeb Stewart, Lauren Schwab. And there's more.
And
but
more.
Those are our most recent. Thank you.
Yes, thank y'all so much. Seriously, we see every patron that signs up. You guys are the reason that we're able to keep this channel going. So thank you for your support. If you appreciate Girl Defined, if you appreciate the content you're seeing and you're like, yeah, I love this, I want to get behind this. It's like $1, $2, $3, $4 a month. It's not that much. Click the link below, patreon.com/girldefined, and you can help us. You can join the team because we love you. Keep rolling.
I didn't know that we were trying to do no cuts.
I just feel like that's the style.
Okay, got it. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
If you are familiar with Girl Defined at all, you've probably heard me talk about this list of questions, 136 questions to ask in a relationship or in a romantic relationship. This is not something you had access to back in the day.
Okay, we had questions though.
You had questions.
It wasn't
okay.
This list.
So the reason I actually compiled this list of questions, and the reason that I compiled this is because previously, like before Dave, I had been, specifically in one romantic relationship I'm thinking of, I assumed me and this guy were on the same page about a lot of things. And so I just assumed we didn't need to talk about like certain subjects. We didn't need to talk about certain convictions, lifestyles, choices, the future. We talked about a lot, but I just avoided certain topics because I was like, oh, of course we're on the same page. Of course we wouldn't need to talk about this. Yeah, and that relationship kind of went down in a small crash and burn and fire. I don't know. It didn't end well. Yeah. And a lot of it, I look back and reflect and I'm like, a lot of it was, I think could have been avoided if I had been more bold and wouldn't have assumed we were on the same page about certain things because we weren't. And I think both of us just avoided talking about it because you want it to work. You want it to last. And so when Dave came around, I was like, I'm not making that same mistake. Even though I assumed, again, like I assumed Dave and I were on the same page. I assumed like we probably believe the same thing about this. I didn't want to assume. And so I actually thought of a lot of these questions and then went to a few other resources and grabbed some questions and created this list. And Dave and I actually worked through the entire list before we got engaged.
136.
136. And it was awesome. And I'm telling you, it's like not every question was relevant to us, or some of them we went by like, no, yes, super fast. But there were certain questions that we really camped out on or we sought advice on. And I'm telling you, it was so helpful to just know like the peace of mind of knowing at least we've talked about this. Yeah. At least we've confronted this subject. At least we're being intentional in our conversation. And it was super helpful for us. And we both really enjoyed it. And now I recommend it all the time. And I feel like everyone I know, like, where's that list of questions? I get DMs all the time, people asking about it. So, yeah, I'm really excited about it.
It's a good one. Okay, were there any questions that y'all had major disagreements on?
Oh, and not it necessarily.
Okay.
I think, like, when it comes to the topics of, like family planning or contraception or whatever, we went and did a bunch of research on that, and, like, we didn't.
It worked out.
It worked out. But, he hadn't like thought tons and tons about it, and so that was kind of like,
I hadn't really thought about this.
We did a bunch of research on it and stuff, so that was the helpful part. It's like, rather than like getting married and being like, oh snap, we haven't thought about this. Right. What should we do? And then one person's like, I very strongly want this. It's like,
I want no kids. I want 10 kids. Like, it's gonna be a problem. Yeah. So one thing I love about this list is that it's broken up into categories. So like spiritual life, personal relationships, personal habits and perspectives, moral standards, marital roles. So it's not random, like 136 questions where you're just like, I don't know what's going to happen. You can work through even the categories, which is really helpful. Zach and I didn't have this list, but we had a list. We worked through questions too, and they were really helpful. This
is just like more organized. And
it's more organized. Now, whenever we talk about this, people are like, well, there's probably a lot of questions that aren't on here. And I'm thinking like 136 is a pretty good place to start. But no, this isn't foolproof. It's not every single thing all encompassing that you would ever ask in a relationship. I know for sure working through this is going to be extremely helpful, but there will be things that aren't on here that you'll want to work through, but you need somewhere to start. And this is an awesome way to do it. And I think it's so important when we talk about these questions because some people, as we've shared this, are like, well, that's a lot. Like that seems like a lot. Is that overkill? Is that too much? And You know, maybe. But
it is.
here's the thing. Most relationships, and you've seen this, I've seen this in my own life, in relationships we've been in the past, is most relationships start out where two people are attracted, they like each other, they get really infatuated. They've got that fire. They get really attracted, really infatuated, and then you just want the relationship to work because you like this person so much that you start to not want to ask some of the hard questions. Am I right? Like you want to avoid some controversial questions because you're like, ooh, I really like this person. I really want this relationship to last. I really want it to work out. And if we talk about our moral standards, that could cause some issues. So we're just going to avoid it. We're not going to go there. And then the relationship progresses. These things will come out. That's the thing. They will come out sooner or later. On this side of marriage, on that side of marriage, they will come out. And so you might as well know what you're getting before you commit, before you make that lifelong decision. So that's the point of this. It's not foolproof, but it will give you such a good foundation.
And for Dave and I, it was also remembering, like, he's a real person. I'm a real person with real emotions, real thoughts. We're not looking for someone perfect. And we're not, this isn't, you know, someone could easily lie. You could lie about the question. So you're being prayerful. You're seeking counsel. You're not just exclusively like, okay, if everything works out on paper, this is a great relationship. No, you're really seeking that wisdom. And that's what I loved about Dave and I's relationship is we had wise like mentors and counselors in our life that were also pouring into us. So if we had a question about something we came across or we needed counsel, they were there to actually walk us through and give us some advice about our relationship. Because ultimately it's like you're marrying a person. You're not marrying just someone who checks off all the boxes. Wouldn't that be nice, you know? And they're not just marrying someone where they're like, oh yeah, you answered that question right. So you've got to be prayerful. You've got to be seeking counsel. This is just a tool. It's simply a tool to help you seek wisdom, to help you ask questions, to help you think, because in the moment, I can't think of them, you know? So with Dave and I, we basically, when we were actually in an official relationship where we were both like, yeah, we're serious, we want to get to know each other, we would just work category by category, ask the questions, you know, we would have some, like, you know, go out to dinner. A couple at a time. It just depends. Some you could get through like 10 at a time. Some it was like we camped out on one for like a couple hours, needed to seek advice. So you can do it really however it works for you. This is just simply a tool to help you dig deeper. And it's okay for you to suggest it, to be like, hey, I found this resource and it's free. We are not charging you for this. We compiled it into a beautiful PDF to give it to you for free. So you can actually click the link below. You'll see free. You just download it and you'll be able to use this, print it up, use it on your phone. But yeah, that's how Dave and I used it. We just went category by category and then sought outside advice when we needed it.
I love it. This is a good note to end on. Like, okay, is it biblical? Is it not biblical? Well, the Bible doesn't say you must ask 136 questions to have a godly relationship. We don't see that in scripture, but what we do see is, I love Proverbs 19:20-21 says, listen to advice and accept instruction that you may gain wisdom in the future. Many are the plans in the mind of a man or a woman, but it is the purpose of the Lord that will stand. And so listening to advice, accepting instruction, these questions, like Bethany said, are going to bring up incredible conversations in your romantic relationship, and some that you are going to need to go accept instruction, get advice, seek counsel. This is a tool that will help you do that. It will help you discover. How do you know if he's the one? Like, $1 million question. How do you know? Well, you get to know the person, and over time seeking wisdom, counsel, prayer, asking deep questions, seeing if you're on the same page, if you're going in the same direction. That is the process, the journey that will help you know if they're the one. And this is a tool that we want to give you for free. So click the link, download it, and look through it. Even if you're not in a relationship, I think you'll find it really helpful, really interesting.
I thought you were supposed to wrap it up.
I did. That was my wrap up.
I thought, like, thanks for watching. I guess no, we don't think I'm.
Why do you have to say, like, thanks for watching?
Subscribe,
like. It's like, is that so last year?
So 2019.
Right.
Great, let's finish it. That was perfect. Okay, you're first.
Thanks for watching this video. Right, but I'm saying
then the intro will be like,
what's up, sisterhood?
And I'm like, Zoe, Hannah.
Okay,
our
3, 2, 1.
most recent patrons,